Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the other apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So today through the Spirit, I'm going to go in on Isaiah chapter 28. And I'm going to start at the top. It reads, Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine. Alright, so the tribe of Ephraim was Puerto Ricans. Today, they're the Puerto Ricans. So this is the head tribe of the northern kingdom. Alright. So when it speaks of Ephraim here, it's talking about northern kingdom collectively as the whole entire kingdom, which today would be your so-called Latin tribes. Alright. Verse 28 and 2. Behold, Yahweh hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And a tempest is just a storm. See, so that's what it's talking about, this storm coming. It says, verse 3, the crown of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim shall be trodden under feet. And you don't think that's just talking about, the so-called Puerto Ricans. That's talking about all the tribes, all right, of the northern kingdom. And the glorious beauty which is on the head of the fat valley shall be a fading flower, and as the hasty fruit before the summer, which when he that looketh upon it seeth, while it is yet in his hand, he eateth it up. See, and that's what Yahweh was comparing the northern kingdom to a fading flower, meaning you used to be so beautiful. When we kept the laws, when we were, in order, our women were in order, we were still under the tabernacle of David. It was all, we were still together with the southern kingdom. You see, we lost our beauty even when we separated from our people. During the time of right after Solomon died. Rehoboam and Jeroboam, they separated, And at that point, we were, before then, we were a beautiful flower. And now it's like a fading flower, fading away. But now that's what this revival, coming into remembrance. Now we're coming into remembrance of who we are through the Holy Spirit. See? And so let me see, where am I at? But anyway, I'm back to verse 4. We were a glorious, like it says, a glorious beauty. Hey, when we were still all one nation. In that day shall Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people. See, so let's look up that word residue. A small amount of something that remains after the main part has gone or been taken or used. See? So that's your problem, man. That residue, that's that remnant. That's talking about the remnant. Let me go back into it. Because Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, you got to remember, every time they destroy, they leave a remnant of Israel. When the flood came, who were the residue? The residue was Noah and his 7 other family members. See, so that's spiritual too, because Yahweh rescued Noah and 7 other people. See, which 7 is a complete number. So that was the elect of his time. Noah was the elect of his time. He was the residue of his time. See, and that's just through the Spirit to really explain that word residue. I'm glad we looked it up, because that was your pa. Verse 6. And for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate. Oh, you see, so there's a spirit of judgment that's going to come on the 2/3 of Ephraim. You see, but there's still a residue of Ephraim, meaning the northern kingdom was what we're reading about. So those are the men that are up on the street corners teaching the Holy Scriptures. That's that residue. You see, we call ourselves the hopeful elect, but who is it if it's not us? You see, who has the spirit to go into these scriptures and to not only be able to break them down, but also this is definitely the Israelites' book. No one else's. Because no other people they don't have the spirit that we have right now to do the work, to do the videos, to edify, calling ourselves the hopeful elect. For verse 7, but they also have erred through wine and strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. See, so what's that strong drink nowadays? It's Esau, Edom, his doctrine that he's got on all this world. And here in Babylon, America, where he crucified Yahweh Shai, he crossed him out. When they came to the New World, they gave you a new wine. That Caesar Borgia, that Jesus Christ, that was new wine. That was a strong drink on you. Why? Because when you're drinking alcohol and it's strong on you, there's strong effects on you, the way you act, the way the way you are, things you do. That's that strong drink, and that's what is comparing that new wine, that old, that fake wine, which is Cesare. And Ephraim, the northern kingdom, is heavy into Cesare, man. You even see it. I was just watching the UFC fights last night, man, and you see Jake, doing the sign of the cross, And who does that acknowledge? That acknowledges Jesus Christ. That acknowledges Cesare Borgia, So that's that strong drink on our people. Let's keep reading. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. Because look at the teachers of Israel. Look at they're Catholics. You got Issachar being taught by, Issachar is the priest teaching them the Roman Catholic doctrine, which is, anything that's under a 501c3 contract is, you have, not only is it a gag order, but also there's certain things you just can't speak on, And Elder Malcolm was bringing it out through the Spirit. One of the things that if you have a 501c3 that you cannot do is you cannot speak against the Pope or the Catholic Church. So you can't speak against the Pope, though. That was the revelation that he brought out in that lesson. But anyway, where am I at? Verse 7 still. I'm going to read it up, start at the top. But they have also erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. See, so these people that are into Christianity, into Catholicism, and this is, we'll stick to the northern kingdom, since that's what Isaiah 28 is going in on. You see? These so-called Mexicans, Brazilians, Argentinians, all of you, Southern Kingdom, or I'm sorry, Northern Kingdom tribes, man, that's heavy on you people still, you know. Verse 8, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. See? And what's going to happen this week? That you're in your Christianity, you're in your Catholicism, so you're going to be celebrating Christmas. And what's it saying? For all your tables are full of vomit and filthiness. So you're gonna have your little Christmas ham on the table. You're gonna have your you're gonna have whatever your traditional food, whatever you eat on Christmas, and doing your Christmas tree, which is representing Nimrod's penis. You're going in on all this paganism that you don't even realize what you do. And that's why your tables is full of filthiness and vomit, man. There is no place clean. You're going to have the majority of Northern Kingdom this in a couple weeks is going to be celebrating that thing, man. And talking about, God bless you, It's like, man, just get out of my face. You're serving Baal, You serve Baal when you're doing all that, man. Baal is who? Baal is Satan. Let's go to Isaiah verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and to whom shall he make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. And this truth is the breast, man. And this is us. We were being weaned when you first find out you're an Israelite, That's milk. You start understanding, reincarnation. Now you're eating some meat, This is who shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the beasts. See, we're taken away from the beasts. Why? Because we're not being wild like we were when we were. Before we was in the truth, we were always like, we didn't really consider. Well, you may have considered through your spirit, you knew things weren't right, but you really didn't try to do it for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because you didn't even know about it at the time, And now, who shall teach knowledge and doctrine? Let me read that. Let me get a precept real quick. Psalm 131. And what is it? 2. Surely I have, this is Psalm 131, 2. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. So that's just going in on the weaned part, see? But I wanted to, what is it? Let me see, through the spirit, I was hoping it would pull up a different verse. And I'm quoting it wrong, but let me just see. Here's what I was looking for. I was looking for this. Psalm 147 and 19. It says, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Alright? So I'm gonna write that in my Bible, because that's the one I was trying to look for. Or that's the one that came to mind. So let me go back. I'm going to read it out of my Bible, my actual Bible, and then I'm going to leave this verse on the screen. It says, Isaiah 28 and 9, Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. And that first verse was King David talking about he was weaned from the milk, And then this one is King David again, but now he's saying, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So it says, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make understand doctrine? It's the Israelites. See? Okay, so I'm going to go back to Isaiah 28 and in verse, let's see, verse 9. Let me get the music going again. Isaiah verse 9, 28 and 9, it says, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, which is Jake. All right, Jake is the one who's gonna teach you. Whom shall he teach knowledge? He teaches it to Jake. Like we got it. Let me get it again. Psalm 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So only people that are going to understand and he's going to teach this knowledge and doctrine to is Jacob, which Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes. So if you are part of the 12 tribes, you're a so-called Latino, Black, or Native American, your father's seed line goes back to being, one of the tribes, that makes you an Israelite, all right? And that's who Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is dealing with. That's who he's teaching this doctrine to. That's why this so-called white man can't, he's confounded at this truth, Isaiah 28 and verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. See? So that's why we go to the different precepts to break down the understanding. See? And King David, he prayed for that thing, to understand. I understand through thy precepts. Right, let me get that. Understand through, it's in Psalms. Let me get that real quick. Psalm 119 and 104, all right? And it's always just review, It's good to go over these scriptures, just to get Psalm 119, well, let me see, 104. Psalm 119, 104, it says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. See? So we go through the precepts and you get a deeper understanding of his knowledge, and we learn that from our elders, Because I never knew how to study in the precepts when I was in the world, when I was, before this truth was presented to me. I didn't understand the precepts, you see? But now we get understanding. We understand that we get deeper knowledge, deeper understanding. They support each other, the precepts. See, and you need the Old Testament and the New Testament supports each other, even with the precepts. All right? So let's go back to Isaiah 28 and verse 11. Yeah, because you don't want to read the Bible straight through like a normal book. Read it on the precepts. And through the Spirit, when I was young and read the Bible, I that's how I did it. But I didn't know what I didn't know. Well, I didn't even know what a precept was. But I would read, just different spots. I never read it like a book. But anyway, verse 11, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing. Yet they would not hear. But the word of Yahweh was unto them precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Wherefore hear ye the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. See? So as an Israelite, we're supposed to hear the word of Yahweh. The 2/3 of our people don't want to hear the word of Yahweh. They want to hear the word of Esau, Edom. They want to hear the commandments of men. You know? And that's why they're the 2/3. The 1/3, though, they'll hearken. They're going to listen to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua according to knowledge and not just according to passion. Alright? Romans 10:2. Alright, you can tell, it tells you that. Let's see, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death and hell, and with hell are we at agreement. See, so the 2/3, you make a covenant with death and hell, which is the grave. All right. So when you're in these false doctrines, when you're drinking this false wine, you're making a covenant with death. You know, the 2/3, they gotta go. 2/3 of Northern Kingdom's got to go. You see, 2/3 of the nation of Israel gots to go according to the scripture. All right. So you making a covenant with death when you don't listen to this truth that we're bringing out. You're in agreement with hell, which is your grave. That's just think about that for a second. You're literally making an agreement with your grave and hell when you don't listen to the men who are breaking this truth down according to the way it's written. All right, all you got to do is read, but again, the 2/3, they can read and they still won't understand it. Verse 16. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the power. Behold, I lay in Zion a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. All right, that's Yahweh Shai that's talking about. All right, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. He's the cornerstone. He's the sure foundation. Yahweh Shai. Let me write that down on my Bible. All right. Judgments also will I lay to the line, and righteous to the plummet, and hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, when ye shall be trodden down by it. See, so that's that judgment. The hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and that waters shall overflow the hiding place. See, so when the destruction comes on the 2/3, you're not going to be able to, you're going to know the truth. For one, you're going to go to the spirit world. For two, you're going to witness. Every eye shall see him. It said, even those that pierced him shall see Yahweh Shai coming back on those clouds. So you're going to know the truth in that day. You're not going to be believing the so-called white man, the Edomite, in that day. When the chariots crack the clouds and they see, so-called Negroes, dark-skinned men on the chariots, the angels, Yahweh Shai, you're not going to believe no lies anymore. You're going to know. You're going to realize that it's not about no damn Cesare Borgia, no white Jesus, So let me get it in. Let me see, verse 18. Your covenant's gonna be disannulled, it says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. Verse 19. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning it shall pass over, by day and night, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. For the bed is, from that time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For the morning by morning it shall pass over, by day and by night it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. And that goes in with Isaiah. Because the ones who are vexed are the ones who understand the scriptures. The ones who, if you don't understand the scriptures, you don't understand the laws and statutes, you're not going to be worried or vexed. You're not. When you see a homosexual, it's not going to bother you. When you see a transgender, it's not going to bother you. See? For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than he can wrap himself in it. And I remember I remember Apostle Gabar was going in on that. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than he can wrap himself in it. Meaning no comfort, For Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall rise up as in Mount Perazim, he shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, and he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. See, so what does it say in Wisdom of Solomon 5:2? It says that they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. See, he's going to be pissed. He's going to be wroth, it says. He's going to rise up as he did in Mount Perazim, and his strange work, and bring to pass his act and his strange act. So that's a precept to Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. I'm going to write that in my scripture here. 21. Let me get it while I'm talking about it. What's that strange act? It's our salvation is going to be strange, because you got to, like I keep going in, 2/3, this is talking about Northern Kingdom, has to be destroyed. But 1/3, that residue, that remnant we read about, is going to be taken up in a strange act. This is the precept right here. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Alright? And I'm actually going to go to my Apocrypha and write that other precept, Isaiah 28:21, right next to Wisdom of Solomon 5:2, so I can remember that precept. Because, hey, like it says, it's going to be a strange thing for the Israelites. Well, it's going to be strange for the heathen to witness that. Alright? So it's... And then let me keep reading. Verse 20, go back to Isaiah 28. And verse, what am I at, 22. Now, therefore, be ye not mockers. Slakia 22. Now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from Yahweh the power of the hosts, consumption even determined upon the whole earth. Give ye ear and hear my voice, hearken and hear my speech. So you need to listen to the prophets, man. The men out there teaching this truth according to the way it's written and according to knowledge. Doth the plowman plow all day to sow? Doth he open and break the clods of his ground? When he hath made plain the face thereof, doth he not cast abroad the fitches, and scatter the cumin, and cast the principal wheat, and the appointed barley and the rye in their place? For is Yahweh doth instruct him to discretion, and doth teach him. Alright? So the plowmen are the men out there doing the work, and that's Yahweh is the one who gives us the spirit and the discretion to teach. And he's the one who's, if he's working with you, you're going to be able, and you're Jake, we said to Jacob, he shows his teaches knowledge to Jacob. You can't be anybody to get this knowledge. That's why it's precious for us to have this knowledge, this understanding. It's a precious thing. Not everybody is able to teach it. If you're able to teach it and the Spirit's working with you, Yahweh Bashem Yashai is working with you, and then hey, it's a powerful thing. Verse 27. For the fitches are not threshed with a threshing instrument, neither is a cartwheel turned about upon the cummin, but the fitches are beaten out with the staff, and the cummin with a rod. Bread corn is bruised because he will not ever threshing it. Well, he will not. I'm sorry, where am I? I lost my spot. Bread corn is bruised because he will not ever be threshing it, nor break it with the wheel of his cart, nor bruise it with his horsemen. This also cometh forth from Yahweh Bashem Yashai of hosts, which is wonderful in counsel and excellent in working. All right. So that says what it says. This is the only counsel we should be doing is the counsel of the scriptures. You don't want to be listening to anybody else's counsel. That's not, especially if they're not coming in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or coming out these verses. All right. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Ha Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge Allah Akyam for pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.